Disney used it for Winnie the Pooh, for any of you guys who saw that.
You animate in Flash, correct?
Yes.
What is your favorite keyboard shortcut?
With keyboard shortcuts?
No, what is your favorite keyboard shortcut?
Control Z.
Well played.
Now, I don't know if you're willing to give out any minor spoilers, but since we saw the... Oh, I don't know if you're willing to give out any minor spoilers, but since we saw the troll face, are we going to be seeing any more internet memes in that episode?
No. The troll face, the thing is that this animatic was released like 2 days before April Fool's Day. So we kind of put the troll face in there just as fun. We'll probably still keep it in, but it literally disappears within the first 10 seconds of the next part and it's never seen again.
Since this is a fan-made episode, are you going to take background characters into consideration?
Yes, we are. We have a lot of cameos of favorite background characters such as Derpy Hooves, Dr. Hooves. So he's going to be in there as well. We've got the Cutie Mark Crusaders. We've got Cheerily, Berry Punch. A lot. We're definitely having a lot of background characters in there.
You said this might be your last animation with My Little Pony. Do you know if your team will continue the project after this episode?
Probably not. I know that one thing that I'm kind of trying to push my team towards is this is my first senior film for college. I don't graduate, though, until fall of 2013. So after this is done, I'll actually have time to do a second one. And the second one is an original concept that I'm trying to get a lot of my team to jump on board with me on. However, if any of them express an interest in continuing the My Little Pony fan episode kind of thing that I'm setting down, I'm actually a creative consultant with a lot of the other fan-made episodes that are in the works right now, such as Project Interlude and the Summer Funimation Project. And I promised them that not only will they have access to all of the resources that we create for Double Rainboom, but if any of my animators want to keep animating on ponies, I'm directing all of them to those projects.
Yeah, as a Flash animator myself, I was really interested in your puppet sets, and I went and downloaded them, and I immediately pulled them over into Illustrator actually to try to take a look at them and see all the stuff that you had there. And one of the things that I noticed was there was a lot of stuff, but many of them had slight little like errors with them. Like the ones you have on your website, when I looked at them, they had like a mouth position, for example, would be a little wavy where it would merge with the rest of the face, so you wouldn't see it if you were just watching a quick animation or if you were looking at it from a distance away. But if you went and looked at it up close, there was a lot of stray anchor points and stuff everywhere, and they would just, I mean, they were good, but they were a little rough around the edges, and I wanted to know if you had any plans on like cleaning those up and releasing newer versions of them.
Yeah, like there were little glitches, for example, where you'd have that smooth line, but then it would like crop out and then it'd keep going.
What?
Such as that. Like, for example, if we were looking at the pony mouths, I know that some of the pony mouths were split up into like 7 different parts. And well, the thing is that me and about 20 other artists all vectored these out at the same time. Like I had one artist working on profile mouths, one artist working on 3/4 mouths, one artist working on ears, another one working on rigging everything together, another one working on naming conventions. And I know that they're not as perfect as they could be, but we're definitely on a schedule, and we have a deadline to meet, and it's kind of, we have to rush it through. But the nice thing about Flash is that everything works through symbols. So during our post-production phase, when we're cleaning everything up, it's really easy to just go back in and edit the symbol, and then you copy paste the symbol into whatever file, and it automatically updates it, and it works really nice.
Bouncing off that a few questions back, these background characters, are they going to be just like kind of shout-outs, or will they actually take some part in the driving of the plot?
They won't take any part in driving the plot. They're just,
okay, so
have their
it's still just going to be main 6?
What was that?
It's still just going to be mostly main 6?
No, the other main 6 will pop up, but they one of them will play a part in fact, a major part at the end to solve everything, but I won't reveal which one it is.
All right.
So.
Hi, I don't know if this is the most appropriate question, but I wondered if you would talk for a minute about some of the tools, processes, and challenges
you've used in working with a team that's so widely dispersed?
Yeah, definitely. Well, one thing that, like the very first problem we ran into was, one thing you'll notice about the My Little Pony show is that they have these beautiful tapered ends to all of their outlines. For the life of me, none of us could figure out how they put those tapered ends in there, and we're still able to keep the stroke in Flash, because you know how Flash is divided between a stroke and a fill. The thing is that we needed everything to be a stroke so that we could animate the ponies, and we could not figure out how to have tapered ends on there. If you, once we release this animation online here in the next couple days for the promo, you'll notice that there are no tapered ends in there. We just could not figure out how to do it. Otherwise, as far as difficulties went, it's pretty difficult managing an online crew. We use Skype for that. It's a wonderful tool. I mean, Skype is amazing. You can do everything in that program. And we have online crew meetings every Saturday, and I hold a lot of live streaming sessions. And in fact, I spend 12-hour days usually working on this. A lot of managing, a lot of directing. It's pretty stressful, but it's fun, and I love it. So honestly, a lot of the problems you'll find with animation aren't really necessarily the tools. It's more about the pipeline. One thing that could help you out with that, Kara, could you put up our pipeline image up there? This is the pipeline that we've been following for creating Double Rainboom. And really, the best advice that I could give you if you ever plan on creating an animation like this is to be organized. Be very, very, very organized. So the very first thing that I did before I even started putting together a crew is I researched the pipelines for other shows, for television, for film, for music video, and I tried to find the best pipeline for puppet animation. And that's the pipeline I came up with. It goes from idea to screenplay to concept art to pre-production. And then all of pre-production is the longest part of the entire thing. We've spent the last 4 months on just pre-production. We actually literally just started animating about 3 weeks ago. A lot of the finished animation you see was done in just the last 3 weeks. Aside from that, Flash is really amazing. It tends to crash, but so does every other program. One thing that you can do to get around that is every single time that you save, do a save as, and put it as another number. Usually whenever I'm creating anything in Flash, whether it be a Ballad of Mecha Pinkie Pie panel or an animation for a shot, I'll end up having about 100, 150 save files by the end of it. And it's wonderful because sometimes you'll be working in Flash and it'll just corrupt. And you have no idea why. You try to open it up again and it's gone. It would be really frustrating if that was your only save file. Going back one file, you save everything and you didn't lose 30 hours of work.
Hi, I was actually just wondering if you could give us a little snippet, like something you would see in TV Guide as to the plot of the episode, like just a short synopsis that you could give us.
Like a synopsis of the plot?
Not a complete synopsis, like something you would see in a TV listing or by hitting the info button on your satellite.
Well, I know. One of the nice things is that at our website, doublerainboom.com, we have a plot synopsis on there, and basically what it says is the story will follow the antics that result from a potion that Twilight Sparkle creates. So it's all about what this potion does. That's the entire drive of the entire story.
What were the foundation courses you had to take for animation to get up to this point?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
What were the art foundations and such that you had to take on your to get to here?
I'm sorry. I can't understand. I can't hear you.
What were the foundation courses you had to take to get to this point?
Okay, a foundation at SCAD to take to get to this point? Is that what you asked?
In school, like
yeah.
in college.
At the Savannah College of Art and Design, there are two things that'll get you to this point. The very first one is you want your major to be animation, and you would want your minor to be storyboarding. I can't express how crucial it is to take storyboarding as a minor, because oh, can you not hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, all right. One thing that I would definitely recommend taking is, one, make your major animation. Take animation as a major at SCAD, or any college for that matter. For your minor, take storyboarding. I mean, it's so crucial that you take storyboarding, because everything that you learn about directing animation, you learn in that class. How to have different camera angles, how to draw backgrounds in perspective, which is creating camera angles, how to tell a visual story that connects from one shot to the next, which is really hard. And storyboarding classes will teach you that, whereas animation won't necessarily teach you how to tell a visual story. It'll teach you how to go, here's a shot of a character doing this, animate that really well. And that's what the animation major will teach you. But you've got to take storyboarding if you want to actually direct your own stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. With the episode, are you planning on making it the normal 22 minutes, or would you extend that, or have you just not planned to head that far?
One thing about the episode is it's split into 6 parts. And our current schedule right now is that we'll release each part a week apart from each other, starting at the end of September. However, we haven't learned yet when Season 3 is premiering. If Season 3 premieres before we're able to do our 6-week plan, then we're just going to release each one like a day apart from each other and just get the whole thing out before Season 3 premieres.
But how long
But
would
each one will be anywhere from 2.5 minutes to 5 minutes long. The entire animation currently is 18 minutes, but we're always adding shots in because we're like, oh, well, we have 70 people. We can kind of add a couple things. And so we're trying to stretch it to 22 minutes. But right now, it will be 18 minutes.
Alrighty, thank you.
Hello? Hello? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Is illustrating or drawing one of the things you did before animating?
Could you say that again?
I have about... Can you hear me now? I have 2 questions. Was drawing or illustrating one of your practices before animation?
Oh, so is drawing and illustrating important to know for animation?
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't necessarily say illustration, because in illustration they teach you how to have line thickness and to make your drawing look really cool. It's the exact opposite for animation. You want to not have any cool lines. Everything is dead-lined. In other words, every single line is the exact same width. That way, when you pass that animation off to colors, they can color it really well, and all that stuff is really great. But as far as drawing goes, heck yeah, draw every single day.
And do you have any advice for any like up-and-coming like artists or people who want to make drawing their living, like myself?
Any advice for like what to draw if you want to be an animator?
Yeah, or how to improve?
The best way to improve is to draw off of reference. Don't trace. But for example, let's say that you really love Pokemon and you love Pikachu and you really want to get good at drawing Pikachu. Well, the first thing you're going to do is spend a good hour or 2 hours just collecting image after image of Pikachu. And you're going to put all those images in front of you, and you're going to spend the next couple weeks just doing nothing but drawing Pikachu. It's all about reference, and it's all about repetition. The more you draw something, and the more you draw it off of reference, the better you'll get at drawing that, so that eventually you'll reach a point where you know Pikachu like the back of your hand, and you can just draw it right out of thin air. And it's the exact same thing for animation as well. If you're an animator and you get hired at a studio, you're going to be drawing the character that you animate every single second of your life, basically. You need to master that character, because the cool thing about animation is that you are the actor. Sure, you've got your character, but you're acting that character. You're basically channeling your acting ability through the character you're animating. And so knowing your character, knowing your character's personality, their traits, what makes Pinkie Pie Pinkie Pie, is how you animate Pinkie Pie really well.
Hi. Hello, everypony. I was just wondering, the troll face at the end of the preview, obviously that's an internet meme, so I was wondering, will the story be sort of, okay, how many liberties are you going to take with the sort of fandom memes and stuff in the actual story versus just keeping it in the spirit of the show?
Not much. In fact, the entire point of doing this was I wanted to prove to myself that if I were ever hired by a studio like this to create an episode, that I could do it and stay 100% true to the characters. So all the characters it'll feel exactly like an episode. The only difference is there is going to be a major plot twist at the end of part 4 that I'm not going to reveal. Actually, I make my entire crew sign non-disclosure acts, so can't reveal it. but it's going to be a fan thing that only a fan can do. But I promise you all that you will love it.
I'm sure we'll all appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi. I actually got accepted into Savannah College of Art and Design, so I'm going there in September.
That's awesome.
I've been really nervous about is there a big Brony community there?
What was the question again? You were nervous about what?
Is there a big Brony community in Savannah College of Art and Design that I can connect with?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like one thing that I can say that's universally true for bronies is that if you like animation, you're gonna like My Little Pony. It's impossible to not like it. The animation's so well done. I mean, that's actually originally what got me into the show. True, I had to be forced to sit down and they had to like promise me apple danishes to make me watch it. But the second I started watching it, I was hooked. I mean, before I knew it, it was 8 a.m. the next morning and I was like huddling from the My Little Pony exposure. Yeah, there's a pretty large brony community over there, and it's gotten even larger because our film is based there.
Good, and thank you so much for the information about the storyboarding. I didn't know they had a minor in that.
Yeah, definitely take it, especially since if you take the animation major, they don't require you to take a storyboarding class. And trust me, when you hit that point at the end of your senior year and you have to create your own film, a lot of seniors don't know what to do because they've never taken storyboarding. So taking storyboarding as a minor is so important.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck at
I have a question about the episode itself. Will it have something like a song?
Will we have a song?
Yeah.
No, we won't. We won't have a song.
Oh, you won't have a song?
Honestly, I think if I had planned beforehand to put a song in there, I would have put it in there. But when I was writing the screenplay, I just didn't think of putting a song in there. So I wasn't asked about that until a couple months ago, and it was
could
too
add
late.
to the 4 minutes.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. No.
You have Mando Pony. I mean, come on.
That's true. Yeah, we have Mando Pony and we have Rob.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you have all the materials to make a song.
We probably won't, just because, I mean, the amount of time that goes into getting the lyrics down and composing the music and adding it, making sure that it fits with the tone and the atmosphere of the show we're trying to create. A lot goes into that. And usually, I mean, I could imagine writing the song first and then basing the episode around the song. Look at Winter Wrap-Up. But, no, there won't be a song. Sorry.
Alrighty. Just wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm still in high school, and I would love to get into an art college like Savannah or Ringling. And what would be your biggest piece of advice in regards to getting into college and or choosing one?
One thing that helped me get into college is during high school, I was drawing a lot. I did a lot of art, and I kind of dabbled in animation. It was terrible. It was horrible, and I'll never show you guys it because it was horrible.
Yeah, I know that feel.
But what I did is I put all of that stuff together as a portfolio, and when I applied to the Savannah College of Art and Design, I sent in that portfolio to hopefully get a portfolio scholarship, which I got. It doesn't pay for the whole thing, but it certainly takes a big chunk out of it. Also, good grades are definitely something to look forward to. Try to maintain a 3.5, 3.7 and above, because you can get an academic scholarship that way, and you'd be surprised how much cheaper college is if you can get an academic scholarship. Aside from those two scholarships, I also have a Stafford and a sub-Stafford loan and a Pell Grant. One thing that I can promise you right now is if you want to go to a good college, be prepared to go into debt. Yeah, you're going to go into debt. It's impossible to not.
Well, I guess that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering what made you want to go into animation in the first place?
Could you say that again? Something about animation?
I was just wondering why did you want to go into animation in the first place?
Oh, why I went for animation? Honestly, I didn't know I wanted to be an animator until, well, see, throughout all of high school, I drew, but I drew as a hobby. I loved doing it, but I never really saw myself doing that in the future. Most of my high school was spent in debate and forensics and drama, and I loved it. I thought I was going to be an actor when I got out. It was absolutely amazing. And then I went into writing, and I wrote a lot of stories that I'll never reveal to you guys. But then I wanted to be a writer, and then I wanted to be a video game designer. So 2 years after high school, I worked at EB Games as an assistant manager for 2 years, just going, this is the life. I'm going to eat donuts all day and play video games, which was fun. But it wasn't until 2 years after that that I got heavily into anime, and I loved it, and I loved all the diverse stories. And then I got into animation, and I started watching all of those shows that I'd missed as a kid because my parents thought TV was evil. So I never got to watch all of that. Overall, my decision for becoming an animator is I love telling stories. I love storytelling. It's so much fun. And I mean, I'd be happy as long as I was telling a story, writing a book, drawing a comic, illustrating something, animating something, speaking something. And the beautiful thing about animation is that it does all of that. You're doing all of it at the same time. You can be a writer for a show, you can draw something, you can do an offshoot of your animation as a children's book that's still part of the animation for the marketing. It's wonderful, and I don't know, I don't think I could do anything else.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could talk about what it took to get permission from Hasbro to do the episode, if that was complicated.
Honestly, it was easier than I thought. Since I needed permission from Hasbro in order to use Double Rainboom as part of the school curriculum, because I needed to put up posters and build a crew and devote my class time to it, and I needed permission for that. What I did is I sent out like 20 emails just to everyone that had an association with Hasbro. And one of those emails came back a week later with written permission. And the permission stipulates that it is used in an educational setting, which it is, and that I don't make any kind of commercial profit from it, which I don't want to. I want it to be free. I want everything for Double Rainbow to be free, which is one reason why everything that we create for Double